Kyiv residents truly went through a terrible night today, and now more and more shocking details are emerging about the treacherous Russian attack on the entirely peaceful city of Kyiv on the night of May 24. Russia claims it successfully struck an airfield in the Kyiv region with an Oreshnik missile. But in reality, it turned out to be just a garage cooperative where a missile costing millions of rubles managed to destroy only a few garages. In addition, the Kremlin claimed that it allegedly destroyed the headquarters building of the Ukrainian Armed Forces Ground Forces Command in Kyiv, which has actually been empty for many months. But instead, social media was flooded with footage of deliberate, let me emphasize, deliberate strikes by Russian missiles on residential buildings, schools, and even the Chernobyl Museum, for example, in Kyiv. And the most telling act of retribution, as it was called in the Kremlin, was the destruction of a shopping center and a market in Kyiv's Lukyanivka district. Here are the real consequences of this cynical attack by the Russians, but the most telling thing is that Russia has once again only disgraced itself. The use of the super expensive and supposedly advanced Oreshnik missile only led to the destruction of garages and no longer surprised anyone. Let's analyze together in this episode all the consequences of the night attack on Kyiv, and unfortunately not just Kyiv. My name is Alexei Pechi, let's discuss this topic together, but before we start, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Like this episode and write any detailed comment under this video, I would really appreciate it. And besides that, subscribe to my Telegram channel Peachy News. The link to it is in the description of this video. There we publish breaking news as it comes in. So, I'll start this episode with what exactly Russia used to attack Ukraine. On the night of May 24, Russia launched a massive combined strike on Ukraine using attack drones. Air, sea, and ground-launched missiles. The strike was primarily aimed at Kyiv. In total, the radar troops of the Ukrainian Air Force detected 690 aerial attack assets, specifically 90 missiles and 600 drones of various types. Specifically, this includes one Oreshnik medium-range ballistic missile, which was launched from Kapustin Yar in the Astrakhan region of the Russian Federation. Two aeroballistic missiles, Kha-47 M2 Kinzhal missiles launched from the Lipetsk region of the Russian Federation. Three Zircon anti-ship missiles, launch areas, occupied Crimea and Kursk region of the Russian Federation. 30 Iskander-M and S-400 ballistic missiles that were launched from Bryansk, Kursk, and occupied Crimea. 54 Ku-101 Iskander-K and Kaliber cruise missiles launch areas, Vologda, Kursk regions of the Russian Federation and the Black Sea area. In addition, 600 attack drones of the Shahed, Gerbera, and Talmaz types, the Banderol loitering munition, and the Parodia decoy drone were launched at Ukraine. Air defense shot down or suppressed 604 targets, including 55 missiles and 549 drones of various types. In addition, 19 enemy missiles presumably did not reach their targets. As a result, hits by 16 missiles and 51 strike drones were recorded at 54 locations, as well as the crash of downed drones at 23 locations. The footage of the attack on Kyiv that appeared online on the morning of May 24 is truly shocking in its scale. And next, I suggest we watch them without any commentary. At the time of recording this episode, it is known that 4 civilians have been killed and about 100 have been injured. Destruction has been recorded in all districts of the Ukrainian capital, the city of Kyiv. In the Darnitsky district, a dormitory was damaged. In the Desnyansky district, a supermarket and a shopping center were hit. Drones, missiles, and their debris also struck residential high-rises. Specifically, a 16-story building in Obolonsky, a 23-story building in Solomyansky, a 23-story building in Holosivsky district, and a 24-story building in Peshersky district. И 20-этажку в Печерском районе. In addition, 2 houses, 2 schools, and an office center were damaged in the Shevchenkivsky district of the capital. Clearing the rubble and extinguishing the fires are still ongoing. In the Kiev region, 2 men were killed in the attack in the Bukansky and Obukivsky districts. Another 9 people, including an infant, were injured. 5 of them are residents of the Fastivsky district. 2 injured women were hospitalized, while the others received assistance at the scene. And in the footage from the capital, it is clear that Russian troops deliberately targeted peaceful residential areas. The footage clearly documents how these missiles deliberately attacked residential buildings, shops, businesses, as well as educational and healthcare institutions.
In Kyiv and the surrounding areas. I'm watching your back, Yurik. I'll stay here.
Well, there you go. A rocket flew into the parking lot.
It probably exploded pretty hard. Wow, and another one burned out there. Oh, it went down as always, Yomra. Yeah, someone is going to have a good morning, and there's a car for me in the mini group, so let me remind you, we won't be going there, that's it. Three.
Damn, this could still happen.
The most telling Russian attack was the one on Lukyanivka, which is a district in Kyiv. Earlier that night, footage appeared online from the underground Lukyanivka metro station where the escalator was damaged by the blast wave and plaster began to fall from the station's ceiling. But by morning it became clear exactly where the Russians had struck, because up above on the surface, the market burned down completely, where, grandmothers were selling their fruits and vegetables that they grew in their own gardens. In the region, the Kvadrat shopping center also burned down completely. Well, that was apparently the real target of the Russians' retaliation. The Russians also reported Россияне также сообщили, что якобы that they had hit the command of Ukraine's ground forces on Detiarivska Street in Kyiv. They also reported damage to the nearby command headquarters building, and here I have to share an important insight with you. Since the first day of the war, no one has been present at the ground forces command in Kyiv. There's nobody there. That's true for all similar military facilities in Kyiv, since command staff were relocated elsewhere long ago. But there really was a large-scale fire at one of the warehouses in the Bucha district of Kyiv region. But the most telling thing is that on the night from Friday to Saturday, Russia struck the city of Bila Tserkva in Kyiv region with an RS-26 Rubezh medium-range ballistic missile. That is an Oreshnik with kinetic warheads. This information has already been confirmed by the spokesperson of the Ukrainian Air Force, Yuri Inat. The Russians claim that they were supposedly trying to attack a major transport airfield. But in fact, all the warheads of the expensive Russian Oreshnik missile hit a garage complex, footage of which immediately spread online. This attack has already been commented on by the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, and I'll just quote him: "Putin can't even pronounce the word hurrah properly anymore. He mumbles, yet still manages to hit residential buildings with his missiles." 3 Russian missiles targeted a water supply facility, burned down a market, damaged dozens of residential buildings, damaged several regular schools, and launched his Oreshnik at Bila Tserkva. Honestly, he's truly unhinged. If you missed it, at the end of the episode I'll show you exactly what Zelensky is talking about when he says that Vladimir Putin can no longer even speak properly. He can't even say the word hurrah loudly.
So that they can hear 3 cheers. 3. Hurrah, 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 hurrah.
I'll leave it at that. Share your opinions and conclusions in the comments below this episode, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and don't forget to like if you want to support the work of this YouTube channel. You can do this with any donation using the links and details in the description of this video or by using the QR code on your screens. That's it for now. Take care. Goodbye, everyone.